BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week, ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines News Show on the Remnant's Call.
The news.
Veamos las noticias.
The Remnant's Call End Time Prophecy News.
Profecía de los fines de los tiempos.
The first news stories come from the land of Israel.
La primera historia viene de la tierra de Israel.
Okay. Our first story
Nuestra primera historia
is about a Jewish person.
es acerca de una persona judía.
Some people might have noticed that big ball in New York City
Alguien quizá ha notado esa bola en Nueva York
that the pagans were doing on New Year's Eve.
cuando los paganos celebran el fin de año.
Well, that ball that drops from that pole,
Esa bola que baja en ese poste,
that was started by a Jew.
eso fue comenzado por un judío.
His name is Adolf S. I think his last name is Ochs.
Aquí yo creo que su nombre es Adolfo S. Ochs.
He is the one that started that ball coming down the pole.
Él es el que comenzó con esa bola que baje en ese poste.
And he was the owner of the New York Times,
Y él era el dueño del New York Times.
when the Times used to be a good newspaper.
Cuando el New York Times era un buen periódico.
Now we go to Israel News.
Vamos a las noticias de Israel.
This is a disgusting story from
Esta es
Israel.
una historia repugnante que viene de Israel.
Starting this week,
Comenzando esta semana,
they will have medical marijuana that's kosher.
van a tener marihuana para uso medicinal que es kosher.
Let me tell you something.
Déjame decirte algo.
In the Torah, Deuteronomy 18
En la Torah, en Deuteronomio
Verse 10,
18, verso 10,
talks about you're not to smoke pot.
dice que no debes fumar drogas.
A divinaire, a soothsayer, an enchanter, a sorcerer.
Adivino,
A bruja.
una bruja, un encantador.
Okay? This is against the Torah.
Esto es en contra de la Torah.
So if some rabbi is smoking pot and tells you you can too,
Si hay un rabino que te dice que fuma marihuana y te dice que tú también
it
puedes,
is not from God.
no viene de
And if
Dios.
you say it's because these people are on cancer treatment
Y te van a decir que hay gente que tiene tratamiento de cáncer
and it helps them eat,
y que les ayuda a comer.
bring them over to a bakery.
Llévalos a una panadería.
Let them sit in a bakery for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Déjalos sentados en una panadería por 5 o 10
Hold a
minutos.
Boston cream donut in front of their nose.
Pone enfrente de su nariz una dona de Boston Cream.
There is not one person who is going to resist a donut.
No hay una persona que se resista a una dona.
Okay? You know, come on now. I mean, this is from the pit of hell.
Esto es del infierno.
But this is being sanctioned by the religious people.
Esto está siendo permitido por la gente religiosa
And it's not okay.
y no está bien.
But this is why the next story is happening.
Pero esa es la razón que la próxima historia está
In our
sucediendo.
next story,
Próxima historia.
there was a soldier that was tried to be run over by a Palestinian, a Muslim.
Esta es la noticia de un soldado que trataron de atropellarlo, un musulmán.
And there was also attack yesterday
También hubo un ataque ayer,
where 2 people died of stab wounds.
donde 2 personas murieron de apuñalamientos.
2 are in critical condition,
2 están en condición crítica
and another 7 are very wounded
y otros 7 están malheridos.
from the wonderful peace-loving Muslims.
De los maravillosos amantes de paz musulmanes.
God says, you want to bring this stuff into my country?
Dios dice, tú vas a traer estas cosas a mi país.
Don't worry, I'll make your lives hell here on earth.
No te preocupes que voy a hacer de tus vidas un infierno aquí en la tierra.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
This is a man we have to pray for, Senator Cruz.
Este es un hombre por el que debemos orar, el senador Cruz.
Senator Cruz says on his first day as president,
El senador Cruz dice que en su primer día como presidente,
he will sign an executive order
él va a firmar una orden
to
ejecutiva
move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
para mover la embajada de Estados Unidos desde Tel Aviv a Jerusalén.
That's the man we want in our presidency.
Ese es el hombre que queremos en nuestra presidencia.
Okay? He will also stop the Iran nuclear deal.
También dice que va a detener el contrato o el acuerdo con Irán
and stop Obamacare.
y va a detener el
He will
Obamacare.
executive order all those things.
Tendrá una orden ejecutiva en todo eso.
Okay? So keep him in prayer. He's also a man who fears God as much as possible.
Manténgalo en oración. Él también es un hombre que teme a Dios lo que más puede.
As a Christian can. He does
Como un
proclaim the word.
cristiano puede. Él sí proclama la palabra.
Okay? Next story.
Próxima historia.
Israel is getting ready to go to war
Israel se está preparando para ir a la guerra
with ISIS on the Syrian border.
con ISIS en los límites con Siria.
There are 600 ISIS fighters,
Hay 600 guerreros de ISIS.
9 miles from Israel's border.
Están situados 9 millas lejos de Israel.
Okay, in Syria. So Israel is getting ready to go to war with them.
Israel se está preparando para ir a la guerra con ellos.
Keep that in prayer.
Mantengan eso en oración.
On the anti-Semitism stories this week,
En la historia de antisemitismo,
our first story comes from the country of Jordan.
nuestra primera historia viene del país de Jordania.
Jordan forbids anybody who's Jewish from buying land in Jordan
Jordania prohibió que cualquiera que sea judío no puede comprar propiedad en
or
Jordania
even leasing any land in the country of Jordan.
o por lo menos rentar tierras en Jordania.
You can only be an Arab to purchase land in Jordan.
Puede ser solamente árabe para poder comprar o rentar
Why
tierras.
isn't the UN saying anything?
¿Por qué las Naciones Unidas no dicen nada?
Next anti-Semitism story.
Próxima historia de antisemitismo.
This past year,
Este año pasado,
as of the 24th of December,
hasta el 24 de diciembre,
in England, there had been a 61% rise in anti-Semitic crime.
en Inglaterra ha habido un incremento de 61% de antisemitismo, de
And who-
ataques
And
antisemitismo.
who has done most of the crime?
¿Y quiénes han cometido estos crímenes?
The wonderful, peace-loving Muslims.
La mayoría lo han hecho estos maravillosos amantes de la paz musulmanes.
Next story. Okay, prophecies. Watch out what's
Profecías.
going on, people.
Miren lo que está pasando.
Please take notes.
Por favor, tomen
Because if
nota,
people don't want to believe what's going on,
porque la gente no quiere creer lo que está pasando.
maybe this will help them.
Quizá esto los ayudará.
Our first news story
Nuestra primera historia de
is a
noticias
prophecy that Yeshua said in Yochanan 17,
es una profecía que el Señor habló en Juan 17,
verse
14.
14,
Verso 14.
where Messiah said, they're going to hate you because you love me.
Él dijo que nos van a odiar porque le odiaron al primero.
The first story comes.
La primera historia viene.
This is a fascinating story.
Esta es una historia fascinante.
Muslims and atheists are getting together against Christianity.
Los musulmanes y los ateos se están uniendo en contra del cristianismo.
Now you know we're at the end.
Ahora sabes que estamos al final.
This war memorial has stood in Maryland since 1925.
Este monumento de recordatorio de guerra ha estado desde 1925 en
And
Maryland.
the atheists are working with the Muslims to try to remove it.
Y los ateos están trabajando con los musulmanes para tratar de removerlo.
This is how brain dead the atheists are.
Así es de cómo muertos en el cerebro están los
They're
ateos.
working with Muslims
Están trabajando con los
who will
musulmanes
kill you
que te van a
as soon
matar
as they're in power
tan pronto que lleguen al poder
to take down a cross.
para quitar una cruz.
Right. Next
Okay.
story.
Próxima historia.
Islam is evil. The next
El
stories.
Islam es malvado. Próxima
Pay
historia.
attention to this, especially if you're a lady.
Pongan atención a esto, especialmente las damas.
God said in the end, I'm going to raise up these people.
Y Dios dice que al fin de los tiempos Él va a levantar
In Deuteronomy
esta
28,
gente.
verse 49 and 50,
Deuteronomio 28, versos 49 y 50.
these people that you don't understand their language
Esta gente que no entiende ese lenguaje
and they don't respect anybody else.
y no respetan a nadie.
In this first story, ladies, take a close look at that picture.
En esta primera historia, tomen nota de esta fotografía.
If Islam takes over, ladies,
Y si el Islam gana poder,
that's what you're going to be wearing.
eso es lo que tú vas a estar vistiendo.
They got some information about ISIS.
Obtuvieron información de
They
ISIS,
captured some ISIS fighters.
capturaron algunos peleadores de ISIS
And on their cell phones, they had emails.
y en sus teléfonos tenían correos
Brilliant.
electrónicos.
It's brilliant. They're the smartest
Muy
people on
bien.
the
Son
planet.
la gente más inteligente del planeta.
And they were talking about who gets to rape the women.
Y estaban hablando quién es el que viola a las mujeres.
If you become prisoners, ladies,
Si tú, mujeres, te haces prisionero,
first you will be dressing like that
primero te vas a estar vistiendo así,
in a full burqa,
en una burka completa.
and whoever owns you
Y quien quiera que sea tu dueño,
will be able to rape you any way they want to.
te va a poder violar de la manera que desee.
They're reinterpreting, they say, old theology in Islam.
Están reinterpretando toda la teología en el Islam.
So you better pray that God keeps this country going.
Es mejor que ores que Dios mantenga este país.
Because our Bible actually teaches men how to treat their women
Porque
respectfully.
la Biblia enseña al hombre cómo tratar con respeto a su mujer.
Isn't that a nice, lovely black
No
garment?
es
though?
tan bonito ese vestido negro.
Come on, you won't have to worry about what to wear.
No te vas a tener que preocupar de qué vestirte.
You don't like this, ladies?
¿No te gusta esto?
Then good, be on your knees before the Lord.
Entonces ponte en rodillas enfrente del Señor.
That God would raise up some godly men
Que el Señor levante a un hombre
to
temeroso de
defend
Dios
this nation.
para defender esta nación.
Men that fear God.
Hombres que temen a Dios.
Because you can have all the guns and weapons you want,
Porque puedes tener todas las armas que quieras.
for unless the Lord guards the house,
Pero a no ser que el Señor cuide la
the
casa,
watchmen watch in vain.
el atalaya cuida en vano.
Next slide.
Próxima
This was
página.
you can watch this on National Geographic. It's hard to watch though.
Pueden mirar esto en National Geographic, es algo muy difícil de mirar.
The prophet Muhammad, that disgusting person.
El profeta Mohammed, esta persona repugnante.
Itamar, how old are you? How? 9, come here, Itamar. Come here. Turn around. Muhammad married a girl this age
Mohammed se casó con una niña de esta edad
and had sex with her.
y tuvo sexo con ella.
Get that picture in your face.
Pon esta fotografía en tu rostro.
This is how important this congregation is to God.
Así de importante esta congregación es para
Thank you,
Dios.
Itamar. They're marrying 9-year-old girls.
Se están casando con niñas
These
de 9
animals,
años.
these
Estos
cockroaches.
animales, estas cucarachas.
There was one girl in the video who was 14,
Hubo una niña que tiene 14 años en el video
who already had 3 children.
y ya tiene 3 niños.
And it isn't like a real marriage.
Y no
It's
es
rape.
como un matrimonio real, es una violación.
It's rape.
Es violación.
And for National Geographic to put this out,
Y para que National Geographic ponga esto,
that tells you how bad it is.
esto te dice qué tan mal es esto.
We have to turn back to God
Tenemos que regresarnos de vuelta a Dios
to protect our children.
para proteger a nuestros hijos.
Amen?
Amén.
Here in Canada, they have a lot of foolish people.
Aquí en Canadá tienen mucha gente tonta.
In Proverbs 13, verse 16,
En Proverbios 13, verso 16,
they act foolishly.
actúan tontamente.
Canada, in their last election,
Canadá en su última elección
elected the most liberal prime minister they've ever had,
eligieron al primer ministro más liberal que han tenido,
who says you can have an abortion anytime you want,
que él dijo que puedes tener un aborto en cualquier
who's
momento
letting
que
all the
quieras,
Muslims come into his
y
country.
está permitiendo que todo musulmán entre a su país.
So what did God do to Canada?
¿Qué es lo que Dios hizo con Canadá?
He took away all their money.
Él les quitó el dinero.
Their economy is in full collapse
Su economía cayó
because God took away the oil.
porque Dios les quitó el petróleo.
Anybody notice that gas prices are really good?
¿Han notado que los precios de la gasolina
A
están
barrel of
buenos?
oil is under $50.
El barril de petróleo está menos de $15.
Canada has a lot of oil
Canadá tiene mucho petróleo
and they can't sell it.
y no lo pueden vender.
So their economy is going boom.
Su economía está cayendo
Because God said, I'll take away your money.
porque Dios dice, yo te voy a quitar el
They
dinero.
were up on top.
Estuvieron en la cima.
When they had that former prime minister that stood with Israel,
Cuando tuvieron ese primer ministro que estuvo junto con Israel,
that stood against Islam,
que estuvo en contra del
they
islamismo,
were more prosperous than the United States.
era mucho más próspero que Estados Unidos.
People were moving to Canada.
La gente se estaba moviendo a Canadá.
Now their economy is in a free fall.
Ahora la economía canadiense está cayendo.
Next story. In the end of days, it says in Isaiah 5, verse 20,
En el fin de los tiempos, dice en Isaías 5, verso 20,
evil will be called good, and good will be called evil.
que el bien será llamado mal y el mal será llamado
That
bien.
is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Eso es Isaías 5, verso 20.
In this story, this is amazing, doctor.
En esta historia es sorprendente.
This doctor who worked in Massachusetts as a urologist,
Este médico que trabajó en Massachusetts como urólogo
he had been working at this hospital for 30 years.
y ha estado trabajando en este hospital por 30 años.
He was fired from his job for his biblical views on homosexuality.
Lo despidieron de su trabajo por su punto de vista bíblico acerca del homosexualismo.
He wrote that homosexuality is an unhealthy lifestyle.
Él escribió que el homosexualismo es un estilo de vida
Do
que no es
you
saludable,
concur, doctor? It is very much a poor lifestyle.
que no es un buen estilo de vida.
You will get AIDS, most likely, if you're a homosexual man.
Vas a obtener SIDA si eres un hombre homosexual.
You will get cancer,
Te va a dar cáncer,
hepatitis,
hepatitis,
infections in your intestines.
infecciones en los intestinos.
This has been proven by statistics overwhelmingly.
Y esto ha sido probado en estadísticas muy
I think it's
asombrosas.
good that he's fired.
Es bueno que le hayan despedido,
Because when you get rid of all the doctors that actually fear God,
porque cuando te deshagas de todos los médicos que temen a Dios,
then you don't have any doctors left.
entonces ya no van a tener
They know how to
médicos
do
que,
anything.
que no saben cómo hacer.
I wouldn't want to go to a hospital now.
A mí no me gustaría ir a un hospital ahora.
I mean, I used to work in medicine.
Yo trabajaba en medicina.
And even back then,
e
things
incluso
were on the downturn.
las cosas estaban decayendo.
Right, Doc? It's a lot of skill has left the building. No
Mucho,
skills.
ya no hay estos dones.
So here he's being fired because he's telling the truth.
Él fue despedido porque dijo la verdad.
Wait, Isaiah wrote that 3,000 years ago.
Isaías escribió eso 3000 años atrás.
Next news story.
Próxima historia del asunto.
There's a Muslim you see in the picture there.
¿Ves este musulmán en la fotografía?
Obama has brought 31 Christians to the United States
Obama ha traído 31 cristianos a Estados Unidos
and 2,000 Muslims
y
from Syria.
2000 musulmanes de Siria.
Wait, who's being killed in Syria?
¿Y a quién está matando en Siria?
The
A
Christians.
los cristianos.
Next slide.
Próxima página.
Here in our school systems in America,
Aquí en nuestro sistema escolar en América
we could talk about Mohammed,
podemos hablar de Mohammed,
but we cannot talk about Messiah.
pero no podemos hablar del
The
Mesías.
Messiah is being hidden in our school systems. We can't talk about it.
El Mesías está siendo escondido en el sistema escolar, no podemos hablar de él.
There was a principal in New York City at PS 169
Hubo un director en Nueva York en la escuela PS
who
169
first stopped the students from pledging allegiance to the flag.
que detuvo que los estudiantes hagan el juramento a la bandera.
If you don't want to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, you can leave.
Si no quieres declarar el juramento a la bandera, puedes huirte.
Nobody is holding you here.
Nadie te está manteniendo aquí.
If you're going to live here,
Si vas a
you
vivir
should
aquí,
pledge allegiance to your country.
debes declarar alianza a tu país.
Okay? So this teacher had stopped that.
Este maestro detuvo esto.
She stopped Thanksgiving.
Ella detuvo la acción de
No, this is
gracias.
the principal. I'm sorry, the principal.
El director.
And she stopped Christmas.
Y también detuvo la Navidad.
Finally, the superintendent had to get involved,
Entonces finalmente el superintendente tuvo que
who told
llegar al
her,
asunto.
you will shut up.
Que le dijo, tú debes callarte.
We will pledge allegiance.
Vamos a declarar alianza.
And then at the end of her meeting, she said, Merry Christmas.
Y al final de su reunión le dijo, feliz Navidad.
It's time to start standing up for what we believe.
Es hora de comencemos a levantarnos por lo que creemos.
Remember in the Bible, there was a man called Pincus
Recuerdan en la Biblia había un hombre que se llamaba Phineas,
who stood up for the word of God.
que se paró por la
And
palabra
God
de
said,
Dios.
oh, you're a bad child,
Y
Darwin.
Dios le dijo, eres un mal muchacho.
No, he said, I give him a covenant of peace forever.
Le dijo que le iba a dar un pacto de paz por siempre.
Guns and the Constitution.
Armas y la Constitución.
In our next story,
Nuestra próxima historia.
in Deuteronomy 33,
En Deuteronomio 33,
verse 7,
verso 7,
it says we can defend ourselves.
dice que nos podemos defender.
We can defend ourselves. That is
Podemos
in the Torah.
defendernos. Está en la Torah.
And in Texas this week,
Y en Texas esta semana.
this first story. This is a great story.
Esta es una gran historia.
In Virginia,
En Virginia,
the Virginia governor wants to stop people from carrying guns.
el gobernador de Virginia quiere detener a la gente que lleven armas.
He is a wonderful Democrat.
Él es un demócrata.
So a Republican senator
Entonces un senador
has
republicano
proposed a bill
ha propuesto una ley
to defund the governor's armed detail.
para quitarle los fondos a los detalles de armamento del demócrata.
He said, if I can't carry my gun,
Si no puedo llevar mi arma, dijo,
nobody around you can carry a gun either.
nadie puede llevar armas que los que estén alrededor tuyo.
The governor didn't like that much.
Al gobernador no le gustó eso
I think we
mucho.
should do that on a national level.
Yo creo que deberíamos hacer eso a nivel
Every
nacional.
senator
Todo senador
should propose a bill in our Congress, in our national Congress,
debe proponer en nuestro Congreso
and
Nacional
in the Senate
y en el Senado
to defund Obama's Secret Service.
para quitarle los fondos al servicio secreto de Obama.
Hey, if we can't have a gun, why should you?
No podemos tener armas, ¿por qué tú?
You don't like that very much, do you?
No te gustó eso mucho, ¿verdad?
And in Texas, you can now open carry your gun.
Y en
Everybody.
Texas ahora sí puedes llevar las armas. todo.
Got to move to Texas, maybe.
Tenemos que movernos a Texas.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 22, in our next prophecy.
Deuteronomio 28, verso
Doc,
22.
watch this one. This is a great story. You see there, the Lord is going to bring fever,
El, se-
inflammation, and fiery heat.
el Señor va a mandar fiebre, inflamación y fiebre desgastante.
In this story in England,
En esta historia en Inglaterra
they have a gonorrhea, but it's super gonorrhea.
tienen una enfermedad de la supergonorrea
It's not treatable.
y no se puede tratar.
And what are the symptoms of gonorrhea?
¿Y cuáles son los síntomas de la gonorrea?
Fever and
Fiebre
pain.
y dolor.
Exactly what God said.
Exactamente como el Señor lo dijo.
This will destroy somebody's body.
Esto va a destruir el cuerpo de
It's
cualquiera.
untreatable.
Esto no se puede
God
tratar.
is saying, here you go, United Kingdom.
Dios dijo, aquí tienen ustedes Reino
You
Unido.
want to kick me out of your country?
¿Quieren sacarme de su país?
No problem.
No hay problema.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
Here, dengue fever is spreading all over the globe.
La fiebre del dengue se está esparciendo en el mundo
And it was in Hawaii
y está en Hawái,
while our president was there.
donde nuestro presidente estuvo.
In 1970, there's only 9 countries that had dengue fever.
En 1970 hubieron solo 9 países que tuvieron el dengue.
Now 125 countries have it.
Ahora 125 países lo tienen.
And you get fevers,
Y tienes
joint
fiebres,
pain
dolor en los
from
músculos
dengue fever.
de la enfermedad, de la fiebre del dengue.
Exactly what God said in Deuteronomy.
Exactamente lo que Dios dijo en Deuteronomio.
Interesting.
Interesante.
It says in Deuteronomy 5, verse 17,
Dice en Deuteronomio 5, verso 17,
do not murder.
no matarás.
In this story, this
En este-
past year,
En este último año,
Planned Parenthood murdered 324,000 babies.
Planificación familiar ha matado 323,999 bebés.
But let's look at this for a second.
Pero veamos esto por un segundo.
Planned Parenthood wouldn't be doing anything
Planificación familiar no estuviera haciendo nada
if those 324,000 people feared God.
si esas 323,003 personas estuvieran temiendo a Dios.
Of that percentage, very few are raped.
De esos porcentajes, solo unos pocos son violados.
Even if that number was 10,000,
Incluso si ese número fuera 10,000,
still,
aún
people don't fear God
la gente no teme a Dios
and they don't honor the commandments.
y no honran los mandamientos.
So it's really not Planned Parenthood's fault.
Entonces realmente no es la culpa de planificación
It's
familiar,
those 324,000 people.
es la culpa de estas 323,000 personas.
Next story. Floods. Wait till you see some of these pictures.
Inundaciones, prepárate a ver estas fotografías.
God says in the book of Amos,
Dios dice en el libro de Amos,
I'm going to send the flood.
voy a enviar inundaciones
In the Midwest right now,
en el medio oeste ahora.
that is Missouri.
Esto es Missouri.
Those are houses and businesses that are underwater.
Esas son casas y negocios que están bajo agua.
They said it's it's historic. They've never had this much water.
Ellos dicen que esto es algo histórico, nunca han tenido así de agua, tanto así.
Well, it might be that you're not following God.
Quizás será porque no está siguiendo a Dios.
The next story, look at this.
La próxima historia, miren
That's
esto.
England.
Esto es de Inglaterra.
They're saying this is floods on a biblical proportion.
Estas son inundaciones en proporciones bíblicas.
Look, it's up halfway up the windows on that church.
Está casi a la mitad de las ventanas en la
Well, you
iglesia.
guys weren't using it anyway.
Pero ustedes no lo estaban utilizando de todas maneras.
And also in South America.
Y también en América del Sur.
4 countries are, with 140,000 people are underwater.
4 países de Sudamérica hizo que 140,000 personas no
Paraguay,
tengan casa.
Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil all are flooding.
Todos estos países están inundados.
Well, that's good for Brazil because they've been having a drought.
Es bueno para Brasil porque están teniendo
So the Lord
sequía.
said, here, all's your water in one day.
El Señor dijo, aquí está el agua todo en un día.
Next story.
Próxima historia.
Weather. The Lord, Obama keeps saying, it's global warming.
El
Right?
clima. Obama sigue diciendo que es calentamiento
Let me
global.
show you 2 pictures.
Déjame mostrarte 2
This
fotografías.
first picture is from New Mexico.
Esta fotografía es de Nuevo México.
New Mexico, there was so much snow, they had a 12-foot snowdrift.
En Nuevo México hubo tanta nieve que les cayó 12 pies.
12-foot snowdrift.
12 pies de nieve.
I guess that's global warming.
Quizá eso es calentamiento
Now,
global.
how many people are in our congregation here today are from South America?
¿Cuánta gente en nuestra congregación son de
Who's
América
from
del
South
Sur?
America?
¿Cuántos son de América del Sur?
Isn't it summer in South America right now?
No se supone que es verano en América del Sur.
Not if you're in Peru.
No si estás en Perú.
It's snowing in Peru.
Está nevando en Perú.
They got 10 centimeters of snow,
Tuvieron 10 centímetros de nieve,
which is a lot because Peru is also a desert.
que es mucho porque Perú es un desierto.
It's global warming,
Es
everybody.
calentamiento global.
Yeah, right, Obama?
Sí,
God
¿verdad,
says,
Obama?
yeah, let me show the clown something.
Dios dice, sí, déjame mostrarle al payaso algo.
It's snowing in summer.
Está nevando en verano.
Those are alpacas. They spit.
Esas son alpacas y escupen.
And they make the fun, they go, "Wah."
Y hacen un sonido
I met
chistoso.
alpacas on Machu Picchu.
Y hay alpacas en Machu
They're
Picchu.
weird looking animals.
Son unos animales raros.
I think that's the last news story.
Yo creo que es la última historia. No.
Nope. Okay. That's the wrong thing. That was supposed to be Psalm 127, verse 1.
Esto se suponía que iba a ser Salmo 127, verso
See,
1.
yes. Where unless the Lord guards the house, the watchmen watch in vain.
A no ser que el Señor cuide la casa, los atalayas cuidan en vano.
Now, they caught 2 Pakistanis
Encontraron a 2 pakistaníes
crossing the border in Mexico into America.
cruzando el límite de México con América, con Estados Unidos.
Something that makes you go,
Algo que te hace pensar.
So they went from Pakistan, these Muslims
Estos musulmanes
went from Pakistan to Mexico for the warm weather, right?
salieron desde Pakistán a México para el
And they
clima
decided,
caliente.
hey, we're here in Mexico, let's go to America.
Y decidieron que como estaban en México, mejor se van a Estados Unidos.
The only problem is they were tied to Al-Qaeda.
El problema es que eran relacionadas con Al Qaeda. Wow.
Unless the Lord watches the house,
A no ser que el Señor cuide la casa.
the watchmen watch in vain.
El atalaya cuida en vano.
Why didn't Obama say anything about that?
¿Por qué Obama no ha dicho nada de eso?
They were just seeking refuge by going through Mexico first.
Estaban buscando refugio, pasando por México primero.
Right.
Sí.
All right, that's all the news we have for today.
Esas son las noticias que tenemos hoy.
If you're out there on the internet land,
Si estás afuera en la tierra de
and
internet
269 of you were last week,
y 269 de ustedes estaban la semana
hit the
pasada,
donate button, would you
presionen el
please?
botón de donar, por
Helps to
favor.
keep the internet on.
Ayudan a mantener el
If
internet.
you'd like to send a check, or you can send it to...
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with a reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.